In today's Final Touch, bottoms up.
We head to Cuba to enjoy a Cuba Libre cocktail, and it's more than a double. Dozens of bartenders from the Americas gathered in Havana to create one giant Cuba Libre cocktail. Bartenders from Cuba, as well as countries such as Uruguay, Peru, Nicaragua, assisted in making a giant version of one of the most famous drinks in the world. When they were done, the mix was offered to visitors and others who congregated in the courtyard of the Hotel Habana Libres, the host of the event. That's a big drink. We'll see you back here tomorrow. News 5 starts right now.
Right now at 5 with possibly more rain in the forecast, how the city of Madison is preparing for more potential flooding.
The devastation from the floods is causing long-term damage to many businesses around the community. We'll show you the damage.
And university leaders announced one of the biggest gifts in the history at UW-Madison. We'll tell you how they say that money could change lives.
This 3 at 5.
And thanks for staying with News 3. A flash flood watch underway for Dane County and areas north of Dane County.
Let's get a look at your first alert forecast now. Gary Canalti is in the Weather Center. Gary?
Susan, you don't want to hear the words flash flood in a forecast, but unfortunately, we do have that flash flood watch for much of the northern and central portions of our viewing area. We have alert days in the forecast for tonight and for tomorrow. Now, the best chances of strong to severe thunderstorms tonight will be north of Madison. Central and northern Wisconsin could get hit pretty hard with high winds and heavy rainfall. But tomorrow, that severe weather threat and heavy rain threat shifts southward and affects us from late tomorrow afternoon through tomorrow evening. Officially, the flash flood watch covers Dane County, Sauk County, and areas to the north and east into central and northeastern Wisconsin. A visible cloud track, already clusters of severe thunderstorms have been erupting across southwestern Minnesota and now into northeastern Minnesota and northwestern Wisconsin. But right now we've had a fair amount of sunshine here, and that's allowed temperatures to warm up. As we take a look at the 48-hour precipitation estimate, and that's in the process of just updating, you can see areas north of Milwaukee in the red have picked up between 3 and 6 inches of rain, about 1 to 3 inches north and east of Madison. The lesser amounts have fallen south and west of Madison. That's good news for areas that got hit so hard with the flash flooding in western Dane County before. Nothing really going on right now across southern Wisconsin. However, you can see clusters and lines of severe thunderstorms sweeping through Minnesota. They're heading northeastward and will probably affect parts of the area later on this evening into the overnight hours. The severe weather outlook for tonight does call for an enhanced risk of severe thunderstorms north of our viewing area, a slight risk here. Tomorrow, a slight to marginal risk through much of southern Wisconsin. Low temperatures this morning started out in the middle 70s thanks to that muggy weather. We've been in the middle 80s to upper 80s so far. Current temperatures are in the middle 80s. When you factor in those dew points, which are pretty tropical in nature, in the lower 70s, we're seeing heat index values right now around 90, and in the case of La Crosse, near 100. Same thing for Milwaukee. Look for shower and thunderstorm chances mainly north of Madison tonight. Low temperatures dropping to 74. Tomorrow, partly sunny, breezy, very warm and humid. High of 86, heat index above 90, and those thunderstorms late in the afternoon. I'll have more details in weather in a few minutes.
Gary, thank you. With another round of rain on the way, officials are again preparing for the worst, but hoping for the best.
A week after the historic rainfall, they're paying very close attention to high lake levels and how more rain could affect it all. Amanda Quintana is live at Tenney Park and joins us now with an update. Amanda?
Yes, well, some of the good news is that Friday's rain and the rain last night, it was much less than we anticipated. So the city is feeling pretty positive about this next storm, hoping the same thing happens. But they are saying we are not out of the woods yet. Another source of good news here at Lake Mendota, we are another half an inch lower than we were before. Now that means it is 2.5 inches lower than its peak on that was last Tuesday, excuse me. But it takes so long for the lakes to respond to such a large amount of rainfall across the Yahara watershed. A UW hydrologist says that that's why we've been seeing a delayed response, despite all of the work that the city and the county has been doing to try and speed it all up.
They do have that little bit of a buffer to absorb even a pretty good size rain event at this point, but it's cutting it pretty close. The system is not designed to handle these really, really big rain events one after another.
Mayor Soglin says the Yahara watershed, which includes parts of Columbia County, Arlington, DeForest, and parts of Sun Prairie, now that's an area that the lake only makes up 8% of. That area needs to be 5 to 6 days, dry days in a row to be able to absorb another heavy rain event. He is hoping that Wednesday morning can be the start of those 5 to 6 days. Now, in preparing for this next storm, the city added about 1,200 homes and businesses to the map, the list of places that could see flooding if some of that does happen in our area. And they also have a plan for evacuation. Now, that is just being cautious. They do not believe that they're going to need to use that plan in the end, but just a precaution.
Yeah, let's hope not. We'll hope for the best. Amanda Quintana reporting live. Thanks, Amanda.
And there are still roads closed due to the flooding. Officials say parts of East Johnson, East Main, and East Mifflin Street remain closed. They are telling residents to avoid parking in those low levels. Move your valuables, they're saying, to your basement, other floors, and sandbag your property if you do live in low-lying areas.
The city is still offering free sand and ready-to-fill sandbags at numerous locations, and you can get that help at a lot of the city parks, along with city parking lots on East Main and on McKenna Boulevard. The city of Monona is offering sandbags for people who live there as well. Homeowners are being encouraged to put sandbags as close to your home's foundation as possible. And we have a lot of information about sandbags on our website at channel3000.com.
And the devastation from the flooding that it's caused long-term damage to many beloved businesses all throughout Dane County.
While many businesses suffered from minor flood damage, others are a total loss. Our Jamie Perez visited Gilda's Club in Middleton. That's a community that supports cancer patients. And now they say they will not be able to open up their building until January. Wow, yeah. Jamie, that puts it in perspective.
Yeah, that's right. And as you can imagine, with all of that, it was really emotional for the staff there to walk me through the extent of their damage. Their basement floor is still covered in mud, the insulation ripped out, their walls torn down, and their front yard even filled with memories and damaged items. Here's a look at that on your screen. This place offers emotional support for people of all ages who are diagnosed with cancer. Now, obviously, they cannot work out of their building as it is now, but they say that they are working to rebuild. They say they have to be there for their patients and refuse to let this stop their services to people who need them most.
Gilda's Club Madison has been a labor of love for a lot of people. And it's incredibly difficult to see the destruction at the clubhouse here and know that our members don't have what they need right now. And so we are doing everything in our power to rebuild so that we can be here for them through what can be the toughest time in their life.
Now, shortly before this flood happened, Gilda's celebrated their 10th anniversary of serving the community. They hope they can rebuild quickly and get back up and running. They say they cannot wait to celebrate many more anniversaries to come, hopefully stronger than ever before. Now, in the meantime, they do have more than 4,000 patients who are not getting the services they need, but they are working on finding a temporary location to work out of. So for those who need it, check their Facebook page for updates on where those temporary setup locations will be.
Remember when it opened 10 years ago? It's
yes.
a beautiful place. We really want them to get up and running again. Jamie, thank you.
Thank you, Jamie. Another Madison mainstay remains closed today due to flood damage. Schwegler Parktown lanes took on significant water in last week's flooding. The bowling lanes are bent and warped, and walls in the basement will need to be replaced. But management at the entertainment center isn't beat down. They say they're dedicated to getting it up and running again.
See it in this condition, it's sad. But the best part about it, we've got customers, we've got employees that have been coming out of the woodwork to help us. They're helping put it together, they're supporting us, so we just can't wait to reopen for them.
The bar and kitchen in the building were not badly damaged, and Schwegler's hopes to open after Labor Day.
The Dane County Medical Examiner has released the name of the man killed Saturday in Madison. The medical examiner's office says 23-year-old DeAnthony Miggins from Madison died from gunshot wounds. Police say a passerby reported finding a body on the lawn of a residence in the 2000 block of Cameron Drive. That's just off Raymond Road on the city's west side. Police believe it is a targeted shooting. They are still investigating.
Madison police are investigating whether fentanyl-laced heroin could be the cause of an increase in heroin overdoses in the past 48 hours. Police say in the last 2 days, officers have responded to 6 overdose calls involving 8 victims. Officers say when numbers spike like this, it usually means there is a batch of bad heroin where dealers are selling it mixed with fentanyl, which makes it extremely dangerous.
There's another tool in the fight against against unwanted addictive medications falling into the wrong hands in Wisconsin because so many of those who abuse drugs get them illegally from a friend or family member. Well, the Department of Justice is now teaming with 62 hometown pharmacy locations to offer these drug deactivation pouches. Simply take unwanted medications, put up to 45 pills in a pouch, and add water.
So the final step, it's been about 30 seconds. So we seal the top of this deter pouch. Now it's ready to be tossed in the trash.
Now to get one, just ask a pharmacist at Hometown Pharmacy. And for shorter prescriptions for highly addictive pain medications, they will offer these bags. Again, you just throw the pouch in the trash. You can also still dispose of drugs in the roughly 400 disposal boxes statewide.
A major announcement at UW-Madison today. Foxconn is investing $100 million in the university.
The tech giant has broken ground on its factory in southeastern Wisconsin, says it wants to bring new tech development to Madison with this massive financial gift. Rose Schmidt in the News Center with more on how this money will be used. Rose?
That's right. UW-Madison Chancellor Rebecca Blank says it's not often that the university gets $100 million gifts, and this will lead to new opportunities for both students and staff. They'll be able to work in new labs with new equipment and participate in joint projects between the university and Foxconn. The goal is for students to have job opportunities when they leave campus to work at Foxconn or other high-tech firms.
This is an historic moment.
UW-Madison is creating the largest research partnership in university history with Foxconn Technology Group.
We look at ourselves that we want to be a long-term community member of Wisconsin, the state of Wisconsin.
The $100 million investment from the Taiwanese tech company will include a new research facility for the College of Engineering.
But that's just the beginning. We want to work together on research related to robotics, autonomous vehicles, medical imaging, even exploring new cancer treatments using ginseng.
That includes projects at the UW Carbone Cancer Center.
What we really hope is that this technology will lead to discoveries we don't even yet know of to better define for any of us what's our risk of cancer, what's our risk of heart disease, what's our risk of Alzheimer's.
Another part of the agreement, the new Foxconn Institute for Research in Science and Technology. The main campus will be in Racine County with an off-campus presence in Madison. The university says it will be a hub for research in a number of fields, including materials science.
That we made it as flexible as a human tissue, so then we can put it inside when people breathe.
Professor Wong is making a device that produces constant electricity and could support biomedical devices in the body.
For example, pacemaker.
He's hoping the Foxconn investment will enable the development of new technology in his field and could even change lives.
This is the type of work that accelerates discovery so that life-changing innovations move more quickly from the lab into the workplace, creating jobs and helping drive Wisconsin's economy.
Now, we don't quite have a timeline of when the new building will be built near the engineering quad, but Chancellor Blank says this investment may also include hiring faculty to staff the new research facility.
That's an exciting amount of money when you talk about that and the difference it can make at the university. Rose, thank you. More to come on News 3 at 5. Up next, authorities are still searching for a motive for the gamer who opened fire at a gaming convention down in Jacksonville.
Plus, it's been 1 year since Hurricane Harvey hit Houston. What former Badger J.J. Watt is doing to help restore the city.
On Wall Street today, the Dow soars more than 250 points. The NASDAQ and S&P add to Friday's record high close with another pair of record highs. We'll be right back. Florida police are trying to determine what caused a championship e-gamer to open fire at a tournament in Jacksonville yesterday.
2 people were killed and a dozen others suffered gunshot wounds before the gunman, 24-year-old David Katz, took his own life. CBS affiliate WJAX is reporting the deceased victims have been identified as Eli Clayton and Taylor Robertson. Suhail Lopez's son, who is a member of the Milwaukee Bucks video game team, was shot 3 times.
He's facing the fact that he might not even be able to use his hand ever again is extreme.
Authorities say the suspect recently purchased his 2 guns legally from a dealer in Maryland. Federal agents searched a home in Baltimore belonging to Katz's family. They say his parents are fully cooperating with the investigation. People across the country are mourning the death of Arizona Senator John McCain. The 6-term senator died Saturday night after a year-long battle with brain cancer. Senator McCain will lie in state at the Arizona Capitol in Phoenix on Wednesday on what would have been his 82nd birthday. In his final letter, Senator McCain addressed the country's political divide.
Do not despair of our present difficulties. We believe always in the promise and greatness of America, because nothing is inevitable here. Americans never quit. We never surrender. We never hide from history. We make history.
Senator McCain will be laid to rest during a private ceremony Sunday at the U.S. Naval Academy in Annapolis, Maryland.
A year after Hurricane Harvey, former Badgers defensive end J.J. Watt provided an update on how the $41.6 million donated by people worldwide will affect the Houston community. He raised that money through GoFundMe after the devastation, making it the largest crowdsourced fundraiser in world history. JJ tweeted that in the past 12 months, the donations have supported the cleanup, the repair, and the rebuilding of more than 600 homes, more than 420 child care centers and after-school programs, distribution of 26 million meals to those affected, physical and mental health services to more than 6,500 people, and distribution of medicine to more than 10,000 patients.
Wherever there is good to be done, boy, he can always be counted on.
He is something. Well, let's go to Gary, and no hurricanes, at least on we talked about Hurricane Lane over the weekend, but boy, we just want to avoid the rainfall around here, Gary.
Well, the problem is the air is tropical. I mean, it's very similar to what you might find in Houston at times, where dew point temperatures are in the lower to middle 70s. So when the air is just loaded with moisture, it doesn't take much. You need some kind of a trigger, like a cold front coming in from the north and west, or a warm front that we had go through last night. Either one of those will touch off rounds of showers and thunderstorms and bring the potential for severe weather. Let's start out by taking a look at alert days that we have in place. One for tonight for the potential for some strong to severe thunderstorms. The best chances will be north of Madison for tonight. High winds can't be ruled out. There could be a pretty significant squall line that moves through much of northern and central Wisconsin later tonight. We might be at the southern end of that. But again, the best chances will be north of Madison for tonight. Tomorrow, we'll see showers and thunderstorms just about everywhere from late afternoon into the evening. Some of those can be severe and produce high winds, hail, and heavy rainfall. And then that'll be followed by cooler weather as we head into Wednesday. Flash flood watch is now in effect, or actually goes into effect officially at 1 a.m. Tomorrow morning for Dane County and areas to the north and east. It includes areas from the Dells up into Green Bay and much of northern and central Wisconsin. If you take a look at 48-hour precipitation estimates, the storms that kind of fired up over southwestern Wisconsin really did their number as far as the heavy rain is concerned over east central Wisconsin. 3 to 6 inches of rain fell from Washington into Ozaukee counties, just north of Milwaukee, and about 1 to 3 inches north and east of Madison, whereas areas south and west that had the heavy rain last time were spared some of the heaviest rain. But you can see much of northern and eastern Wisconsin was in that 1 to 3 inch range. That's why the flash flood watch goes all the way up into the Green Bay area. And you can see lines of severe thunderstorms already pushing through Minnesota. Now they're heading to the northeast, but you can see the tail end of that might just clip the northern parts of our viewing area. There's an enhanced risk of severe thunderstorms for tonight, mainly north of the Dells, a slight risk north of Madison, and a marginal risk for an isolated severe thunderstorm as far south as the state line. High wind, the main threat, a pretty high 45% chance or greater threat of high wind events within 25 miles of a point from around the Twin Cities up toward Rhinelander. That's pretty significant. Hail, also a possibility up to perhaps the size of quarters. There's even a threat for a few isolated tornadoes, mainly in the northern and central portions of the state, but they can't be ruled out as well. Tomorrow, the severe weather threat shifts a little farther to the south. We have that slight risk from Madison southward, a marginal risk to areas to the north. Again, probably the almost as big as the severe weather threat is the the heavy rain threat. This is the general forecast from the computer model, about 1 to 2 inches of rain through southern Wisconsin through early on Thursday morning, but there'll be localized 3 or 4 inch amounts and some heavier thunderstorms. So again, you got to take that into consideration. You got a flash flood watch in effect till 7 a.m. Wednesday morning for Dane County and areas to the north and east. 74 for a muggy overnight low temperature. Best chance of thunderstorms north of Madison. Tomorrow, breezy, very warm and humid with a high of 86. Heat index up around 90 or above. And then thunderstorms developing late in the afternoon. You can see this on Future Track. The first batch of storms mainly to the north of Madison. Low temperatures middle 70s. Tomorrow, dry for much of the day. And then those storms developing to our north and west by late afternoon. Highs mid 80s. Those storms sweep through southern Wisconsin late afternoon into tomorrow evening, start dying down late tomorrow night, and then on Wednesday we're looking for high temperatures staying in the 60s to around 70 with clouds for much of the day. Rainfall amounts in the 1 to 2 inch range with local amounts 3 or 4 inches in some of the heavier thunderstorms. As we look at the 7 to 10 day forecast, Thursday will be dry. We'll see sunny skies with highs in the mid 70s. Next chance of thunderstorms from late Friday into Saturday. Sunday will be dry. Labor Day, Monday, and Tuesday a chance for a shower or thunderstorm. Highs back in the mid 80s. Best chance of storms probably Wednesday of next week after this round. As we take a look at first alert traffic, still have Highway 14 closed. US 14 between Cross Plains and Mazomanie. Across the Isthmus area, East Johnson Street closed because of flooding from the Madison Lakes. Beltline right now, we've got delays in the eastbound direction starting around Monona Drive going back to Verona Road. Westbound from around Todd Drive to John Nolan Drive. Almost a half-hour trip from University Avenue to the interstate. 16 minutes going back in the westbound direction on the Beltline. Heading out of Madison from the Beltline to Janesville, a 28-minute commute, 18 minutes to Sauk City on US 12, and 19 minutes to Sun Prairie from downtown on East Washington Avenue. That is your first alert traffic.
All right, thank you, Gary.
Still ahead on News 3 at 5, a new chemotherapy drug is being used to treat brain cancer in dogs. How it may help save humans with the same disease. That's next at 5.
News 3.
Glioblastoma is the deadliest brain cancer in people. It's the cancer that claimed the lives of Senators John McCain and also Ted Kennedy.
Now an experimental drug being tested on dogs could hold promise for people. Mola Lengi is at the Virginia Tech where the study is taking place.
You like them here, yes you do.
Emily, a 10-year-old Portuguese water dog, is Laura Kaminsky's everything. When Emily was diagnosed with aggressive brain cancer earlier this year, Laura was devastated.
I sobbed. I sat in the middle of the exam room at the hospital and sobbed.
Emily has glioblastoma and was given just 3 months to live. It's a tough cancer to treat and options are limited. So Laura enrolled Emily in a new clinical trial at the Virginia-Maryland College of Veterinary Medicine at Virginia Tech.
And so that gave you hope?
Yes, that gave me hope. And so I said, yes, I'll do anything.
A drug is injected directly into the tumor, getting right to the cancer while leaving healthy brain tissue undamaged.
We watch the entire treatment in MRI, so we can actually watch the drug cover the tumor, and so we know we've achieved the treatment goals of actually targeting all the cancer cells.
Researchers say results are so promising, the National Institutes of Health is now helping fund the trial, hoping it can lead to a breakthrough for people. It's been 6 weeks since Emily's first treatment.
She hasn't had a seizure since she was here last time. She's herself.
MRIs show her tumor is shrinking.
Black spot in the middle here and here, that actually means that the tumor is dying. So that's actually what we actually want to see. I mean, the only way this result could have been better is if it was totally gone. Right. But this is actually really good news.
It's not a cure. I knew that going in. But this is the best hope to give her more time.
And maybe someday, saving people trying to beat this cancer. Mola Lengi, CBS News, Blacksburg, Virginia.
Stay with us. Another check of your forecast in a moment.
We keep a close eye on this chance for rain.
Heavy rain, severe weather, both in play for about the next 24 to 36 hours. Flash flood watch in effect for Dane County and areas to the north and east until 7 a.m. Wednesday morning, at least as far as the rainfall amounts are concerned. These are general amounts, 1 to 2 inches, some local amounts in excess of 3 to 4 inches and heavier showers and thunderstorms. Nothing imminent now, but you can see severe weather sweeping across Minnesota into northwestern Wisconsin. Thunderstorm chances tomorrow, and then cooler for Wednesday and Thursday. It's more storms about the weekend, warmer next week.
More updates on News 3 at 6. CBS Evening News is next.